Hey, welcome back. Welcome back to the Virgo channel. My name is Laura. If you're new to the channel, I'm going to do a general message for Virgo. Know that energy is fluid. Roles can be reversed. Interpret the message as it best resonates with you. Also know on this channel, I like to go deep within the reading. So I do look at everything, but we take time to look at the spiritual blocks, the shadows, and see how they play out as karmic themes. This will allow you to understand why everything's playing out the way that it is. Now, if you want to enter into winning a free reading with me, you have to be obviously open to getting a shadow reading. You have to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and write the word of the video in your comment bar. Okay, the word of the video is always on the first card that I pull out. Is the underlining energy that tells me why everyone's doing what they're doing. Very important when we're looking at people that have spiritual blocks and shadows. All right, let's see what that word of the video is. Hope everyone's having a good day today. All right, let's see. The word of the video is anger. Anger. So this is what is the underlining energy. I feel like you are somebody that's like been angry, like connected to someone that you're angry with because they were really disrespectful, and you've been waiting for like an apology for a long time, and this person hasn't like really done anything, but you can still feel their energy. So you're like, why do I still feel your energy? And you still haven't given me an apology. You think that I forgot. You're waiting for me to forget. This person just is, and this person now I feel like is actually angry with you because they can feel that you're angry. So it's, again, I feel like this is a soul connection. There's ESP through the heart and mind. Understand that's what actually transcends time and space. So this is definitely a past life karmic mate that you're connected to. And I say karmic mate because this person is already in a power struggle with you, and what you're asking for is really not a lot. You're asking for respect. I feel like that's why, again, so now there's nothing there except for anger. And it's because this person was selfish. It's like they don't want to really do anything. They don't want to look at other people's feelings. And I also feel like this person's reactive. Like they just say things because you trigger them, and you trigger them because they have feelings, but then they don't want to have feelings, and you've gotten to a place where you're like, I'm intolerant of this shit. It's like I don't care whether there's a soulmate connection, that there's a higher state. You're in this low energy, and I feel like you got to the place because this person wasn't giving you really much of anything. You're like stuck in a place of fear. This person has too much fear, too much anxiety around relationships, and you were like, well, I can't do anything with that. And it's because you were really feeling like they were just holding back and really not doing anything. Now I feel like they weren't, but there's a thing too called scared stupid. And again, when a person has gone through a lot of bad relationships over time, they don't really know what they want. And this is what I feel like this person has. They don't really know what they feel. And it's because they have anxiety, okay? And they have anxiety because every relationship ends off with this energy of shame. Now, that's the spiritual, really the underlining energy that's influencing this reading is anger due to shame. That I believe that this person has that, and I also believe you have that spiritual wound. So you're a magnet of who and what comes into your life. So you're like, okay, on a spiritual level, there's a karmic person that came into your life to teach you a lesson. Let's see how that lesson played out. Just because it played out a certain way doesn't mean the person doesn't have feelings, doesn't mean that they don't like you, and it doesn't even mean that they won't come back. The issue is a lot of times if they come back, you want to know how to deal with them. Okay, so when you were dealing with them, I feel like, again, this person like just pretended to be like too, like almost like fragile. And like I've been hurt in a relationship before. I don't really know. I feel like they did try to like tell you that, but like you felt like they were just setting it up so that they didn't really have to like give enough of a relationship after a while, where then this person accused you of being fragile. Like, no, you're just being overly sensitive, where I don't feel like you were being overly sensitive. I feel like this person is overly sensitive due to the relationships that they've been in. They projected that energy onto you. Yes, they wouldn't have been able to activate any spiritual block like within you if you didn't have that block. So So again, I don't really feel like you were being fragile. I feel like you were, yes, you are sensitive towards it because you have already gone through that experience with that person. So there's a little bit of gaslighting, there's a little bit of manipulation there. And that's because of shame. There's a lot of fear behind shame. It's like that's when relationships turn really bad, and then other people on the outside a lot of times are brought in, and so it's almost like public shaming also. So again, what you saw was just a lack of will, which is what I said. It's like there's not enough effort, just holding back, and you saw that it wasn't going to grow, because obviously if they're not giving anything, it's not going to grow. And that what you noticed also is that this person takes a lot of risks within their own behaviors. That doesn't mean that they're running around with a lot of people. So some could be, but it's more like just not taking care of themselves. It could be drinking too much and not taking care of their health, just not worried about their future, just almost like not really loving themselves. And in the fact that they're not loving themselves, I do believe that you came to a place of realizing, well, if they're going to be like that with themselves, they're not going to be that way even with me. So a lot of holding back, but there had to be manipulation too in order for you to be like kind of stuck in that. So there was a neglect. It was that, again, more of what you felt like. And this person, I do feel like every time they would, I think that you did either threaten to like end the relationship a few times, and this person tended to, but neither one would, because there was a lot of feelings. Because you're like, okay, I feel all these like feelings, like in this energetic like cord. So again, pretending that it's like that it's over when it's really not over, to like try to emotionally manipulate, and then when it finally got over, I feel like this person is still holding on, thinking that it's not over now. So it's like almost like the relationship with you, they don't really know who you are. They act like it's a game. They act like it's almost like eventually you're gonna give in, and it was just the relationship is too hard. That's really what it comes down to, where you're like, why am I even connected to that? That's really what you want to know. But before we want to know, we actually want to know what this person really thinks, because a lot of times it's a spiritual connection. A lot of times it'll tell us like how the behaviorism comes out, like they can't talk, feel like this person feels that there is a deep connection between you and them. It's like because they've taken time out to like actually like to feel it. So it's almost like the game is exciting, but because they can feel that there's such a strong connection, they almost feel like they don't have to put any work in. It's almost like it's just going to work out. It's almost like it's just going to work out. I don't know how it's going to work out, but it's just going to work out. And so, which is, I know, unrealistic, but that's what it is. This person feels like you're connected, because the ESP through the heart and mind, yes, it transcends through all time and space. For all this person knows is that you left them in every single life because they didn't move to give you anything. And here this person is confusing it that they don't have to do anything because they feel that connection, but they've already lost you in a lot of lifetimes because, again, of the soul's connection. They haven't learned. I want to talk to you, but I'm not sure I'm ready to share everything and give you the answers that you deserve. So this person hides a lot. They're not transparent. And I think that they know, like in being in a connection with you, like they either have to come in and give everything or nothing at all. And that means transparent. It doesn't mean you got to give me all your salary. What it means is like you got to like give 100% of yourself. You got to show up here emotionally and mentally. And if you're holding stuff back, I can feel it because we're connected. It's like you can feel again, that we're that connected where you don't have to put energy in. Well, I feel that connected where I'm expecting a standard, and that this is really what you're holding back, and you're showing this person without words. And so I feel like they're a little slow and immature. So there's a little bit of like, oh, I like the game, because they usually are able to come in quick and get what they want and leave and not really have an attachment. Here it's like they really have like this spiritual connection, but they can't get away with that with you. The planets are activating us to heal and bring us closer together. I feel like this person just thinks, again, I don't think that they think that, but I do think that they're leaving it up to the universe, and they feel like, I feel like I'm going to be with you, which is why you really need to hold your ground and be like, no, because they're so sure of who you are without getting to know you. And that's an intimacy problem. They don't realize that they're doing it. They're like, I'm just playing a game. You know that I care about you. It's like, I know that you can feel. I know that you're thinking. I know I don't really have to say that. Even if they don't have to say it and you know it, you're like, no, you have to express to me what's going on in your life. You need to be transparent with me within your life, because in all other relationships, you're not that way. And you have shady behavior because it's not that way, which is why you're like, oh, I'm afraid of commitment. It's like, no. And so you're holding the standard. This person doesn't know it. They know that it's a connection that they've never felt before. They've tried to walk away from it, but they're like, well, if I can't walk away from it, then I don't have to do anything. It's just going to magically appear. And it might, because again, you're both thinking about each other. You're both manifesting each other. Even if you're mad, you're that, like, some energy is still focused on that person. And so spirit says, well, eventually, do karmic justice. But then you would have to, stand your ground and be like, no, this isn't a game. Because this person, what they're showing you is that they would be always immature, that they don't really want to do the work, that they don't have to do the work, that they keep it on surface. And the problem with that is, emotionally, if you're with someone that doesn't give emotionally, they get bored. They don't have a conscience then. It's like they have to work for it. It's like you have to. So with this person, doesn't mean that you can't be with them. And it's not a yes or no. That's why I'm intervening, because it's like a yes or no doesn't, it's like, it means how you deal with this person. They're a past life karmic mate. They're coming back. It's like, it could either look like a shit show, like where it's a tug of war, like, and this person's full of games, or it's one that where you like demand that person to rise. And that's through how you're holding yourself. I'm trying to leave my comfort zone with this issue, and you better believe that you better help this person by how you hold yourself. That's why it's karmic. And that's because this person doesn't know. They need direction. I don't know what it looks like. I've never really respected anyone or cared about a real relationship before. Like, I was never conscious of how I was in a relationship before. People might have told me, but I mean, I don't know what that looks like. You have to hold to a standard. So it's not by telling this person, but it's how you treat yourself. You actually never tell the person anything. It's what you allow and how you hold yourself. That's how you command it. And believe me, this person loves you. If they're rising to that level and leaving their comfort zone, well, trust me, they're not going to screw you over right away, because they had to work for it. And it's, again, appreciate. But that is a karmic. Remember that. And karmic doesn't mean good or bad. It means we are the alchemists. We transform fear into love and shadow into light. That's what the relationship is. It's all about integrating the soul wounds, the shadows into light. And we don't do that. How do you do it? First of all, you're not aware of it. You're not aware of your shadows. You're not walking around saying, oh, I have shadows. No. What happens is like there's aspects of our life that we don't like, but those shadows are fragmented pieces of ourselves that are unconscious. So spirit, the universe, God, which are all the same thing, brings us someone that we love unconditionally. Past life karmic mate, there is love. That's why there's a strong connection. However, this person, if you let them come into your life and you don't dictate and you're not strong and you're not your best self, they're not going to know how to rise up. It's like they're willing to. It's like because life hasn't worked well. But that's what this relationship's about, that the universe, like, it's time to be the alchemist. It's time. There are certain things within your relationship, certain things within this person's relationships. Obviously, we see a big ego here. And spirit's like, that's not working for me anymore, or anyone else. And you racked up a lot of bad karma. Like, it's like through life. So now you don't trust relationships, but you cleaned up that karma. Now it's time that to be in a good relationship. And it's like, well, I don't really know what that looks like. I want to be in a good relationship. I want to be happy. I don't want to go through what I went through again. Again, there's the negative karma. We get to a place. When I look into your eyes, I see I see the universe and it activates me. I don't really believe that this person says that. I think that when they look at you, they get butterflies. It's again, they have feeling. This person has a feeling of like detachment, disassociation, numbing, which happens from trauma in relationships, psychological trauma, where the person gets very confused. Do I want this relationship? Do I not want relationships? Because all their relationships in the past were bad due to them. Understand they're the main equation. So again, they've had to fix a lot of their karma. It took a long time, but they still don't know what a good relationship looks like. They still have no feeling, but they have feeling when they connect to you. There's still this soul memory. It doesn't logically make sense. It's a spiritual connection. The universe all through this is saying it's alchemize. It's time to fix it, to become back, to revert back to the energy of unconditional love. You're holding on to like fear and baggage and perceptions. It's like surrender your ego. That's why that happens. So it's like the feeling. It's like person wants to feel again. My ego is fragile to criticisms and rejection. So I created walls to protect myself. And this is what I told you. That again, that part of themselves is that the ego part of self, which is from all the bad experiences. So again, they're false perceptions of, relationships don't really work out. Love isn't really real. It only lasts for a certain amount of time. I can control love. I don't really need love. Who needs love? All those false perceptions. And God says, well, I'm love. So you're not allowed to say that there's no such thing as that. That's like saying there's no such thing as a universe. You're not allowed to say that. It's like you're going to stay stuck in a place of pain. You're closing yourself off from love. And the universe doesn't want anyone to close himself off from love. He's like, everybody deserves love. Everybody is love. Because everybody has the higher self. And the higher self is a God part of self that makes us supernatural. That always gives us support and always gives us love. But this person, like I said, they have a lot of walls from thinking that their life is, again, the bad experiences. So I can't really have that. That doesn't really work for me. I have to protect myself. I have to create a persona, which is why the universe has to get involved, which is why it brings in like the you, which is a past life karmic man, and which is saying you're up. And you're like, me, oh, I'm up. Okay, I guess this is my soulmate, my a person. And the spirit says, watch out. You don't know what kind of soulmate it is. Remember, past life karmic mate, there's still a lot of love, but there's lessons that weren't learned in the past lifetime, the lifetime before, the lifetime before, the lifetime before. So guess what? The karma is going to be bad. The karma is going to be bad. like, because it's a lot of lifetimes, like, so the universe is like, it's like we're making it so you have to learn the lesson. And so this person's ego is like, I don't want to let go. So again, I'm struggling with codependency. I'm afraid to let go of my old coping mechanism. So that's really, again, the behaviorisms when people get triggered. And that codependency is alcohol, it's drugs, it's other people. Even if they're like surface people, like I get my emotional fulfillment from talking to a million people on Instagram. Like they're all blowing up my ego. Do they know my name? No. But we talk fantasy, whatever it is. They're getting something. They're a bunch of nonchalant, like, and surface relationships that just feed the ego. And that's because the ego needs to be fed. It needs to be fed, and it's going to be fed through addictions. It's going to be fed through, again, all these things, because it's based on fear, which throws off the whole thing. And that's the opposite energy, obviously, of what we're supposed to be, which is unconditional love. So we can see the shadows. But what's underneath it, that spirit thing, is time to change to this person. It's time to change. Now, I'm going to give you a situation to help you do that. Don't listen to other people. Trust yourself to know the truth. This person asks for advice from everybody and everybody. They don't trust themselves. And they might not come straight out and say, but they might be. So what do you think about soulmate relationships? Like, it's like, what do you think? Do you think that really exists? Do you really because in their mind, they've never experienced before. The problem is that this person has a lot of nonchalanty little people that they talk to on Instagram and talk to whatever, that even though they haven't formed emotional connection to them, those people have formed a connection. Some of them have formed a connection to your person. So the thing is, it's like, they're going to ask these people their advice, and if it's about, they're saying, well, asking advice about somebody else, they're going to give them negative advice, because again, there's a sense of, well, you're sitting here talking to me. You think I'm sitting here talking to you because I just want to sit here and talk to you and blow smoke up your rear end? It's like, I want you to maybe blow a little smoke up mine, you know what I mean? Or whatever the terminology would be. And, and you're going to talk to me about somebody else, and that's the thing, that this person is insecure. Like they said, they don't know who they are. So when we go dig deeper and deeper and deeper, we see, this came out. It's like, I know the universe works in mysterious ways, but sometimes I judge this situation instead of surrender to it. Well, that they're in their ego, because it's like, I don't know what the hell this is. It's like, but it has it has a control over me. And this is, people don't just surrender their ego. It's like it said, they're gonna, they're gonna question it. Like, I don't believe, again, I've been living on this planet for X amount of years, and you're going to tell me that love, this person is going to be different from everybody else? What do I look like? I just fell off a Christmas tree? That's like what this person is like. Like, they're looking for a problem. They're looking for it. And that's because really, I'm afraid. I'm afraid of it. And really, I'm so afraid. But it really goes a lot deeper than them being afraid of relationships. They're codependent. They don't even know who they are, really. I'm going through a physical, emotional ascension symptoms. I need space to rest, but from a higher perspective, I'm releasing old energy. So I do believe that this person, again, a lot of times when a person doesn't know what to do and they're so frustrated and they're so angry, and they're not letting love in, it's affecting other areas of life. We can't stay imbalanced in one area of life and think it's not going to bleed into another area of life. This person's been this way for a long time. the universe had to get involved. Sends you in. The soul, past life soulmate was like, "Hey, listen, like, good luck, but you didn't learn this lesson a few times. I hope that you learn it this lifetime. But good luck. You did learn it because you're like, I don't want this. The hell is this in this lifetime? What was I stupid in the past lifetimes? I really didn't get this. This person's not really. Maybe the situation was different. Remember, times were a lot more difficult, and people weren't as evolved. So here it is in this lifetime, and you're like, okay, you're not, like, you're playing a lot of games, and I don't really like what's left is really just anger, like, at this point, because it's like you waste time. It's a lot of time, where really what you saw here was a lot of woundage. And so Spirit says, I have to use people to push people into ascension sometimes, or sometimes it's just a combination of things. Like, again, they might lose their job, or it's affected in other areas now because they're not letting love into their life. It's bleeding into other areas. And so the universe again gives other opportunities. I don't feel deserving. And it's affecting my levels of abundance and openness, which again is really what it is. I don't deserve love, which is at the root. So this is what you're dealing with. And you're like, well, why the fuck when I get this person is like all broken, and it's like, and so they can't even give me love because they're learning how to love themselves. Why would I get that? And Spirit says, yeah, we're going to find that out, because that's really what's important here. Because it's not that the person doesn't have feelings. And they might even come back to you, but you might not be on the same level of consciousness. You might evolve, like be, further apart from them. Our destiny is calling. Preparations are underway to take the next step. So I feel like, again, you both are in the healing process right now. And our mission is to be unconditional love. Clearing our programming is a necessary part of opening our hearts. So again, you guys might be together. You might not be together, but right now the universe is leaving it open. But either way, Spirit's saying it's like your mission, again, everyone's mission is to revolve back to the energy of unconditional love. That's your natural state of energy. When we have shadows, again, those are spiritual blocks that keep us in fear. And it's any emotion derived from fear. So it could be jealousy, anger, resentment, whatever, like any lower energy. So clearing and programming what we're taught. So I believe that this person was programmed with a lot, and due to their experiences have programmed themselves. So they have to heal all that. And Spirit says, I'm doing that. But I'm doing that. It's like, yes, I'm utilizing you also as part of that. But you are not the only thing that I am helping to heal this individual. And it's like to make them whole, to restore them back into wholeness. So yes, you again triggered them to feel. And that feeling led them to go down the rabbit hole of having to really look into themselves and feel and ask themselves what they want. But this is really what it's all about, the relationships. When we're dealing with karmics, it's like you have an opportunity to clear programming. However, it's karmic. You could contribute more negative karma, or you can learn and integrate the spiritual lesson. So by you being like, I don't want this. There's nothing here. Like, I don't want this. You forced this person. You didn't give them an option. It's like you have to do your healing. This person shocked. It's like resistant. As we know, their ego questioning the universe. What are you doing? Why isn't it easy? What? I know that it's working, but I don't understand why it's making me, because it's making me have to look at certain things that are uncomfortable. It's making me have to do things that I don't want to do. It's like, because healing doesn't feel good, we don't volunteer. This person's in their ego. The universe is saying it's time to take the wall down. You may not want to take it down, but I'm going to take that wall down. And I'm going to utilize people and situations and experiences to help you awaken, get to ascend. It's time to ascend. But they have to also want it, and they do want it, but they're also like afraid of it, which is sometimes we still wear our pain as if it's our armor, it's our identity. And that's like this person right now, which is what you're feeling. I want to let my guard down with you, but fear makes me lash out in self-defense. So again, they get triggered. The relationship is scary. The relationship is scary for them because it's, again, I'm going to let you in deep, but you might hurt me. You might use it against me. You might control. All this was done to them mainly because, again, I don't think that this person was fair in relationships. So, you're in a relationship with someone. It's not just one person that does some bad stuff and because you could say, well, no, it was that person. No, by staying in the bad relationship, it's two people, because at any given time you have to leave. But if you're going to stay in a relationship with someone that's like that, you're going to have to play games too, and that's what this person is used to. They're used to that, and you were like, oh, not today. I'm not doing that. And this is, I've hurt you and I'm sorry. I hope you can forgive me and understand I was reacting in fear, which is what I'm telling you. It's, again, this relationship is all about activating like their healing. It's like, it's not even saying like, if you get together, I wish I could say what I really feel. Someday I will, but right now I'm afraid to be myself. So this person is healing. As of right now, they're not going to do anything, but understand you push them into a place of their healing. You help them do it. So you have to say, so then why did I attract this person? What the hell's the point? Because it's almost like you waste my time. And Spirit says, no, because just as much as you're helping them, they're helping you through healing. But if you don't integrate the spiritual lesson, again, remember, you have an imprint on your subconscious mind that until you learn the spiritual lesson, it will always be there. And it will always make you a magnet for more of those type of energies and situations, even if they're fragmented, not full doses of that energy. You'll still feel it and still see it, which it's not a part of you. So integration is really important. So we have to say, why would I be connected to a person that has feelings for me, but is so messed up due to all their past relationships that they can't give me what I want, but they're actually in a place of wanting to give me what I want, wanting to give me what I want, but they can't. It makes them, like, them opening up to me triggers them. Like, I'm afraid to tell you what I want. I'm afraid to be myself. I wanted to say something, but I can't say myself. What is all that? And it's like this person is not used to having to be transparent, not used to having, and usually doesn't care. When they care, then there's an emotional connection. Then you have the power to hurt them. And so they will act a lot different towards someone like you than you're like, okay, like Mary Jane. Yeah, she got two teeth in her head and maybe like a strand of hair on top of her head. And he's like all flirty, or she's all flirty with that homeless person that, like, has like dirt all over him and like, has like three heads, is like an alien from out of planet. It's like, but for me, this person it ignores me, is mean to me. That's how it'll play out, because it's a psychological reversal of where the person gets in their own way. They don't believe they're deserving of love. And so again, you have to say, why would I attract that? And the first card out is physical touch, which is no emotional support, no nurturing, no feelings of love. Now, our inner child wounds tend to play out as karmic themes throughout our life, where we're like, hey, I'm dating someone, and it's always like, I feel like I'm with somebody that's like emotionally handicapped, or like they can't give. There's something wrong in that department. Or like, I wind up with a person that expects me to be, it's always a karmic theme, and that's due to the imprint. And until you learn the lesson, and integrated. So again, physical touch, that's the emotional support that wasn't given. Sing, that means your voice, being able to speak your truth. Understand God created his world with his voice. So you too can create your world with your voice. Cleansing. That's it. Again, being able to actually clear. That's a gift. When you're close to the divine, when you're close to spirit. Empath energy. Belittled. Again, like bullied a little bit, like which goes with the physical, like emotional. I wasn't emotionally taken care of. If anything, I felt like I was bullied as a child from the parents that I had. Yeah, I was able to cleanse it because I'm an empath, and I, always gave love back. And as long as you can, like, again, still love and forgive, and you were able to do that for a very long time, in spite of that parent, but you got to a point where over like time, you had to suppress yourself, had to suppress your voice, your needs, your wants. And it's scary to be with a person, like as a child, to have a parent that is foreseen as bullying, outdoors in nature, really against the representing connection to the earth, connection to Mother Earth, connection to Father up in heaven. So there was none. So there was a lack of groundedness. When there's a lack of groundedness, it's because, hey, how do children deal with the trauma? They go inward. That's what they do. They go into fantasy world. They detach. They can't run away. I can't run away, and you're screaming at me and you're bullying me, and I feel really afraid. So I'm there, but I'm not there. I detach, I disassociate. And so I'm able to space out. And that's why they say the child that survives thrives, because in that zoning out, you're in the imagination realm. And so you're able to actually clear yourself, because it's a way of protection, right? It's a way, but it's also manifestation energy. It's very powerful energy. But if that's what it was, you didn't emotionally get what you needed. So that bullying energy of not really feeling safe, and really always having to cleanse yourself, which it's a good thing that you can do it, but why should you have to do it? And so spirit says, well, let's look and see what another, like, to go a different perception of, again, of why and what we're supposed to do. The hell, I have two decks of cards together, so I don't want to mix them. Okay, yeah, see, the back of the cards look very similar. Okay, same type of colors. All right, so let's see. We're going to pull 3 from this deck to go a little bit deeper and say, well, why? What else? It's like, okay, the physical touch, soul's calling, number 1. Number 2, warrior of light, empath energy. I told you that. And harmony within. So spirit says, it's all about right now listening to the whisper of your soul guiding you. Again, aligning your actions and values, and making sure that, again, everyone that comes into your life also aligns with your values. But it's, again, like getting clear about what it is that you want. It's, again, giving too much to this person. And I say that harmony within. Harmony within is just about integrating and doing a little shadow work. Because why did you attract this person into your life? It's like, well, that clearly was there. Why was that there? Well, again, what did they represent? And if you don't know, you're like, I don't know why they were there. And spirit will say, what did they represent? Well, again, I guess passion, I guess love. Fine. And so spirit says, no, you have to love yourself first. You have to nurture yourself first. That's where you went wrong. You were looking for a person to give you what you're supposed to be giving to yourself. You didn't give that to yourself. You know why? Because you were taught not to in childhood. You were taught, again, that it was okay not to have this. So you didn't recognize how little that person was given, how little that person, and how disrespectful they were until they went a little further. Oh, you caught on, and you caught on quick. The fact that you didn't just nip it in the bud, where you will let it go on because the person was giving so little, and you just thought, well, they're giving me a little, I give them a little, but it went back and forth like that for a while, to the point that it grew an attachment. You both grew an attachment without a real emotional connection. It was more built in the fantasy of what it could be because of what I feel for you, that you are a spiritual connection, and spirit's like, you don't see how we're going to drive off the cliff. You don't see how this is a disaster. It's like that this person hasn't given anything. It's like we have to again make a person give us. They're not going to automatically give, but this person came in sneaky. And spirit's saying it's like you have to integrate those soul things, and that's meaning there's a piece of you missing. Where's the passion? Where's the passion? Where's your flavor? That's what spirit's saying. It's man, me first. I'm a jealous God. That's who you first. Where is it? Where's the passion for life? Where do you lose it? Oh, you thought it was going to be this loser? No, that's like that person needs to heal. It's like otherwise, again, that's that energy. And spirit says, and you're a warrior of light. Use your passion to fight for what you believe in. Stand your ground. So again, if you don't know what your passion for life is, and your passion for life is where you lose your time, your energy, your focus, and your money, what calls to you, what stirs up your soul, what means something to you. You got to feed it. It takes a mustard seed. God makes that multiply. It's again, you have to be consistent. And the universe will always conspire to bring you everything that you need. When you're living like that, any person that comes into your life, they're going to have attraction, or like if they like you, they're going to have attraction, but you're making that person, you're commanding them to treat you a certain way through how much you're giving them, not through manipulating them, by actually cutting off that psychic energy, by by how you're treating yourself. And if they're not treating you right, well, they get faded out, and it's again, and they get replaced with someone else, because again, that's how the universe also says, you know what, screw you. You didn't step it up. You failed. Well, guess what, you didn't just fail where it's manifested in a lot of other areas in your life, but you lost this person and they're happy now. See, look. So now look at that. Let your ego look at that. Still try and put that same mask on, because it's not going to fit now, because now you see what you can't see. So that person will be the one that got away. That person will be the one. And so a lot of times you won't see the person get the karmic consequences, but the karmic consequences happen when you live, because again, the universe will always conspire to bring you someone to replace that. So that's what spirit is saying. This is all about you again, being led by your passion. And that's what I said. You made this person your passion, and that was the problem. You got to fill your cup all the way up. The person only gets what comes out of the cup, falls out. It's like just whatever falls out of the cup, that's it, because it holds an essence of mystery. Who are you? It's like, I'm not always available. I honor myself. I have a lot of things going on. I'm not, and this way the wound will not be big. If this person tries to do something, the wound is always big, and the karmic cord is always strong when we give to a past life karmic mate and we haven't learned the lesson. And so in this lesson, Spirit's saying, again, the passion, making that person the passion. They didn't earn their place in your life. You're like, come on right on in, and you can have like, sit at the good seat and get the best. It's like they didn't earn that. It's like you're not valuing yourself, and Spirit's saying, and that's because you're not in the passion for life. And when you're in that passion for life, a whole other world opens up for you. God makes a way where there is no way just for you. And that's an unfoldment process that your spirit is leading you through the gut, through the heart. And yes, it logically makes sense. And then you have good discernment, which is, I can see that what you're doing. It's like, I can see, my intuition told me. Why? Because every Friday after when I come home, this person normally does X, Y, Z, and they did not do that. It's like, because I was not so close up to the picture. And Spirit says most people are imbalanced because of this. Most people, again, have a big wound because they're not feeding that. And that's what Spirit is saying there. So this isn't a time for you to try and get this through anybody, Spirit says, because as long as you try and get this from other people, you'll never get it, because there's a sense of, I need it. And Spirit says, no, you don't. You need to do it for yourself. And it's like, and in that, you will integrate and transmute that negative energy. And then you'll have that person and all the other people, because that person already likes you, but you would have to command them to act a certain way to rise. And right now they're not doing it because you're not making them do it. So they're like, well, I don't really have to do it. And that's really what it is. Eventually you'll cave. And that's the immature energy that you're feeling like, well, why are they holding back? Like they're not doing anything, but they're like, because they're pretty sure that you'll cave, even if you won't, because everybody else normally does and they never. So they're basing you on everyone else. So you have to show them something else that somebody else doesn't, that everybody else doesn't do. And Spirit says, where is it? Where's your essence? Where's your flavor? Where's your passion? That's where it's about. And when you find it, you'll be able to create your heaven on earth. You'll be able to be the energy of abundance and attract everything that you need, because you're already love, unconditional love. I'm going to leave that there. I hope that you guys got something out of that. If anyone wants to ask me a question, you can. Otherwise, I'm going to run. Anything, anybody? Thank you, Tarot T. And everybody else for joining in. All right, I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.